Hello and welcome back to Second Take Movies, a podcast where we give movies a second look, second chance, second take, if you will. I'm your host, Preston Jenkinson, and joining me as always, it's my co-host, Jake Twido.
Mission Impossible.
How long did you practice that?
I didn't. I just did it. I didn't practice it. I just did it.
That felt rehearsed.
I am the Ocarina of Time. Oh my god, I can't believe that was right. Oh my god. Oh, I went to grab my drink and grabbed the ocarina instead. It was just like,
That is beautiful.
hey, what's up, boy?
And because of wonderful content like that, I'm going to ask you up top to subscribe because we always put it at the end, but nobody's listening to the end.
Yeah, let me tell you what you're gonna get at the beginning from now on, guys. Your ears hurt. Mine do too. Subscribe.
Ghost Protocol, Mission Impossible.
Yeah, dude.
Ghost Protocol.
I remember seeing this one in the theaters. It was dope as crap.
This is a when I say this, it's a really good movie.
Good, Preston. No.
It has the weakest villain and shoestrung plot in the entire series.
It's straight garbo. Hey
Like,
guys,
if you think
I got a magazine of how to make a villain, you just cut them out and put them in the movie.
like we're told everything about this guy, but shown none of it.
Yeah,
And he does things for no purpose. But anyway, the story, before we get into our discussion, the IMF is shut down when it's implicated in the bombing of the Kremlin, causing Ethan Hunt and his team to go rogue once again to clear their organization's name.
Do they show these movies in Russia?
I doubt it.
I mean, I thought about that. Like, these movies are internationally successful.
Mm-hmm.
He goes to a lot of places. Like, do people get offended? Like, I don't think he's mean about Russia at all.
If Russia's censors are anything like China, it probably not. Because you make fun of the state. I mean, our country's kind of getting that way, not to get political, but if you made a movie with the villain was like an orange-faced golden wig, that would might upset a certain someone.
I'm going to actually... Never mind. See, my filter's on point. Look at me. Do you have anything positive to say about this movie, actually? Or negative?
Keith Phipps of the AV Club does. As Cruz clings to the side of the building using malfunctioning equipment and a sandstorm looms in the distance, the question shifts from whether Bird can direct an action film to whether there's anyone out there who can top him. And I don't think it was because of Brad Bird. This is me talking now. I don't think it was because of Brad Bird. I think that was Tom Cruise, my guy.
Yeah. Look, Brad Bird wrote probably one of my favorite movies. Well, pretty high up there. Iron Giant.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I think he directed that, too.
He may have. I watched that movie later in life.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't watch it when it came out.
I've never seen it.
Man, it's good. It's one of those things you watch. I don't know. It may not hit you the same. Like, you watch it, especially as an adult, and it's like, oh, I'm crying now. Why am I crying? Which that's kind of funny. That's Brad Bird. And like,
yeah,
Toy Story, Up, all the Pixar stuff.
Well, he didn't do all of it. He did The Incredibles.
You're right. Sorry, he was on the senior creative team.
Yeah, he was on
involved.
He was on the team of a lot of those movies, but like The Incredibles was his.
But he was a part of King of the Hill.
He was?
Oh yeah, he was an executive assistant.
Wow.
For a season.
Good for him.
I'm only saying that to be relative that, the next season of King of the Hill is pumping out.
Oh yeah, in August. I'm excited.
I'm pumped.
The negative review from Cineview. Ghost Protocol.
Gross. Cineview. Gross. Okay.
Ghost Protocol is action fluff, and on that level alone, it works well enough.
Yeah, all right. I don't see anything negative about it. Cool.
Even in the negative review, they're very positive. But,
this was a movie, and if you movie, then movie.
I'd say it's not the best. It's definitely not the best of this series.
The only reason that I'm like, this one's fantastic is that's when Simon Pegg really becomes a part
Part of the team.
of the worst Q ever made.
Yeah.
He does not do his job well.
No, he's not very good at his job.
It's great. I love
That's
it.
unfortunate.
It's such a good, but it's a good, like, yeah, he sucks. Like,
Yeah.
kind of just does. It's perfect. It's great. That's the thing that doesn't work in these movies. Good.
Speaking of Benji, his new team, who does not involve Ethan Hunt, are on a mission, and they are led by Paula Patton and handsome guy from Lost. I can't remember his name.
Oh man,
That's on me.
He's total babe, bro.
Not Matthew Fox, the other guy.
Josh Holloway, not Holloway.
Yes.
Holloway.
Holloway.
Yeah, his character's name is Hannaway in the movie.
Hannaway. Yeah.
Why would you do that?
He has a he's being chased on a. We open the movie with him being chased across the rooftop. He jumps off a roof and escapes these guys, and then is killed by Leia Sado, who is playing an assassin who works for diamonds in this movie. And that's the opening. And then we cut to Tom Cruise in a Russian prison.
I'm in jail.
He's bouncing a rock against the wall and like bouncing it and it coming back to him. And I'm like, I don't think physics works like that.
Well, if you're Tom Cruise, you bend physics, because when you worship the alien motherlord,
Great Cthulhu or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You can defy physics with a rock.
Trust me.
Trust you? Okay. That team is sent to break Tom Cruise out of jail. And they don't know why. They just know that the mission is to break him out of jail. Benji in the car. It's just the two of them, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, it's just two of them.
Just two of them. She's got a thing that makes a hole in the prison. Benji opens the doors, and Tom Cruise grabs a guy named Bogdan. Pretty good prison fight.
It really wasn't that bad. I was going in my head of like, prison fights are either garbage or they're good. Like Watchmen, incredible. Daredevil, that sets it too.
Oh.
Not as good as either of those, but it was still really fun. And I love I have to go back and find someone else. I'm not just leaving, which,
and it comes up later in the movie why he was in prison and why he grabs Bogdan. They escape to prison, and then it does the thing where it cuts to the credits, and the credits kind of somewhat spoil the movie a little bit. It shows you what's going to happen.
Yeah, this is
with the theme
I made
song.
A note. I'm like, is this the first time they've like ruined the movie in the first?
No, it's that's like a thing with these movies. If you watch the opening credit thing in these movies, it kind of shows what's going to happen. Because that was how the show went.
Yeah,
in the 60s.
So right away, Benji has been promoted to field agent, and I love it
because he took a test.
So he's on the new team with him and Jane.
Yeah.
Who is Hannaway's girlfriend?
Yeah, we find that out later. She explains that they were on this mission to find a courier. Hannaway knocks out courier, gets package, escapes with package, and then we pick up to where the mission opened was Moreau killed him, and now Jane is very like, I'm gonna get Moreau through this whole movie. That is her mission.
Okay, I understand why she killed her now. Forgot about all that. So
yeah. There's Russian nuclear codes that we need to get, and they're in the Kremlin because there's a crazy guy that wants to nuke the world, and he's going after them too.
How rad is the Kremlin? I don't know. I see it. I'm like, yeah, dude. I want to play Tetris. This place rules.
I don't.
I'm planning on heading out to St. Pete one day.
No.
Is that St. Pete? I don't know.
That is St. Petersburg, yeah.
Okay, word.
Yeah.
Yeah, son, no, it's Moscow.
Their mission I don't know. I don't care. Their mission, should they choose to accept it, as is tradition with the IMF, they've got to infiltrate the Kremlin, and Tom Cruise is doing the thing where he's disguised as a Russian general because he already looks like that Russian general, so he doesn't really need to wear a mask.
No mask, no mask.
No, Benji's all excited about, he's excited about the mask. He's never got to use the mask. Spoiler alert for later in the series, he does. They disguise old Ethan Hunt as a general, and they have that tense situation like, his file's not uploaded yet to the thing. Why don't we upload the file before we go into the Kremlin is always my question.
That's what I couldn't understand. Like, I know you have to, like, get there and do it, but could we not do that before?
Yeah. Couldn't that be a mission before the mission?
Yeah, send in one of the juniors. Let them take care of it,
Yeah. But, they have the thing where it's like, scan it again, like I'm the general, and like everybody recognizes him as the general. No one notices that he's only like 5'5", and this general's probably like 6 foot tall, but
platform shoes.
It is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. They all had to look at a certain angle when looking at them.
And then my favorite, like, weird tech in this movie is this big projection sheet that they throw out there and throws up, which is a callback to, like, from one of the episodes in the 60s where they had like a rear projector on a screen and they kind of moved down the hallway like that. But
this is when I went, I've seen this movie. Oh, this is the best.
Yeah.
That's the coolest thing I've ever seen in these movies, probably.
Mm-hmm. And boy, did Apple pay money to have the iPhone and the iPad put in this movie. Because it's everywhere.
Yeah. Didn't enjoy that. I don't really care. You get your money. You're going to get your money somewhere, but...
Mm-hmm. And so they move slowly down this hallway behind, and to me, it's great. It's like, this is an impossible piece of technology.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
But it provides so much weird humor, too.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's where this movie... I think this is where the movies really get their pace of. There's some humor involved. And it's not...
I think that was that's the Brad Bird influence, I think.
Definitely.
The comedy in this movie. Because a lot of them don't really have this much comedy or levity to them.
No, they're a lot more just straightforward.
Yeah.
They get caught because I can't remember who catches them. Cobalt does.
Yes, the villain of the piece, who is codenamed Cobalt, Hendrix.
Yeah, Hendrix. Yeah, it's Michael Nyqvist.
Yeah, he has infiltrated their comms and is acting like he's on the team, and he has set a bomb, and he has gotten the Russian codes already because Ethan clocks him later on when he's escaping the Kremlin. And that guy comes over the radio and says, team leader, and like the Russians are hearing it and they're like, oh no, we're being infiltrated. So the Kremlin starts to shut down. And Tom Cruise has probably one of the dumbest, in my opinion, like, I don't know what you call it, costume swap.
Oh yeah, flip it out.
Face, yeah. Like a inside out coat with a Bruce Springsteen shirt and like takes off the fake mustache and
we're going to the wall, man.
Oh, wow. Then the Kremlin, the CGI Kremlin blows up.
Yeah, the ball, the bang, wooden titty blows up.
And Tom Cruise tries to run away, but he gets exploded along with it. And
he going to hospital, then he goes
in the hospital. Yeah. And then this Russian detective federal officer, I don't know what he is, KGB.
It's an SVR agent.
Yeah, he's too persistent.
Yeah, little cartoonish.
Yeah. Says, you blew up my country, blah, 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 threaten the American. Ooh, I'm scary. Tom Cruise escapes. Got his shirt off in this movie more than the other one. He escapes out the window, zips line down a little power line.
So fun, so goofy.
So good. snags a coat, snags some boots, snags a phone. And, since Brad Bird is directing, we got the A113 that all the Pixar guys put in their movies.
Nerds.
Yeah.
But he calls up the secretary. We don't know who he calls up, but he calls up somebody.
He calls a evac line.
Yeah, the grocery store's on fire and I need more cereal. Where's the milk? I had to I had a job once where we had to have one of those kind of things for an emergency situation. And my call in was, help, my car's going, but I'm not in it. Where are my keys? Ass.
That's too long.
Yeah, and I was like, why can't I just say emergency? And one day we had something happen, and what did I do? Emergency.
Emergency.
And they went, we need the code. And I went, car's got gas on fire, go.
Car got gas on fire, go.
I'm an idiot. I'm an analyst. What do you want me to do?
He is picked up by the secretary himself and
Kurt Hendricks.
Secretary's analyst, played by
William
the one and only
Brandt.
Jeremy Renner.
Man, I thought he was the villain in this movie. I really thought this movie twisted to that. So the whole time I'm going, when does he shift?
That would have been interesting.
Yeah.
But
he disappears, though, after this, right?
No, he's with them the rest of the movie.
The franchise?
Oh, no. He is in the next movie after this.
Okay.
But, yes, he does kind of disappear after that.
Okay. You mean he does a ghost protocol?
He sure does.
Because that's what's happening here. Which, IMF gets disavowed.
Yeah. And the secretary is played by the guy that played Don Falcone in Batman Begins. Very British actor. I think he was in Pirates of the Caribbean as well.
He was. The thing that I picked up
he played Cornwallis in The Patriot. Lord have mercy.
Yeah, he played with some corn. A whole. It's getting worse. Guys, don't even worry. This movie has an incredibly terrible flaw, and I realize at this point, almost all of them do. When someone's about to get shot secretly, they're framed in the perfect left third.
Well, yeah, they have to.
But it's such like when you notice it, it's like, oh, he's gonna get shot right now.
Bam!
3, 2, 1. Boom. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And also in this scene, I just have to point this out because I thought it was silly. Jeremy Renner's asking him, what did the guy look like? He's like, because Ethan's like, I saw Cobalt in there. Like, I saw him walk out with the thing. And he, in like 2 seconds, draws
on his hand.
On his hand. I'm like, I mean, he's good at a lot of stuff, but let's calm down.
Yeah, you're stretching it now. He is not an art. Well, I don't know. He went to school for theater. Maybe.
Well, that's all retconned in later things, but it's so stupid. So yeah, the secretary gets shot, but before he gets shot, he tells Ethan like, "There's a secret cache somewhere that I don't technically know about, but you're going to use to try to figure out this situation because Ethan hunts the best." And that's when the car drives off the side because they kill the driver and they kill the secretary. And they just keep firing down at this thing, and Jeremy Renner and Tom Cruise escape. Why they assassinated an American diplomat in broad daylight, couldn't tell you.
Because he was and the Americans are to blame for the bomb.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happened to Putin.
Putin did that to a lot of people.
He's triangulating my position right now. So if I'm moving around, I don't want him to geolocate myself right now saying it. Yeah, so they regroup, and all of a sudden, Brandt's a part of the team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this happens yet where they're like, you're just an analyst bullcrap. You're more than that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not figured out quite yet. So I think Tom Cruise recognizes him right away, but he doesn't like give that away immediately.
Yeah. Well, they figure out, oh, shoot, we got to go find them jokers in Dubai. We're going to Dubai, baby. The
After we get
artificial
on
place.
this train that's hard to open because you gotta put your eyes up to it and it's moving. And we have a second, should you choose to accept it, mission.
Yeah, it kind of threw me off. I'm like, wait a minute, you can do
Yeah.
more than one of those in a movie? Okay.
Yeah. Hendrix is having a meeting in Dubai because one half of the codes is with Moreau because that's what they were looking for at the beginning of the movie, and that's what she killed that guy for. So she has one half. Hendrix has kidnapped the head of Russia's nuclear scientist who knows the codes and can authenticate them.
Yeah.
And so they're going to meet at a hotel in Dubai because we have to have a big action sequence in this movie, and we had to advertise Dubai.
Yeah, Dubai, man. Come on down to Dubai.
We had to advertise the Burj Khalifa.
Hey, if you guys want to advertise us on this podcast, Dubai, we'll come for free. Just pay for us.
I'm not averse to taking.
We could do the podcast on the the highest of that hotel.
That would be awesome.
I mean, it would be a waste of their time, but boy, let me tell you, if you really want to open up to the viewers, that's what you got to do. You get us there.
It's not the last time that Mission Impossible will go to Dubai and advertise for Dubai. So they go. The plan is Tom Cruise is going to double as Wistrom because Wistrom is the second to Hendrix.
Yeah.
So he's going to double him, and Jane is going to double Moreau, but she wants to kill Moreau while she has access to Moreau. There's all a bunch of conflicting things, and of course Tom Cruise, the Ethan Hunt, the greatest guy on the planet, wants to keep Moreau as like an asset. He doesn't want to just eliminate her.
Yeah,
all at once.
Because he thinks she's cute.
Well, she is. It's Lea Seydoux.
That's why he's keeping on board. He's a dog.
Yeah. So is Paula Patton. The mask machine breaks down sadly. So we can't.
Freaking Benji and his dumb mask over here, son.
So we have to have two separate meetings. But before that happens, we have to get access to the elevators and security cameras. And we can't infiltrate from the outside. We have to go to the server room way up at the top and plug a little thumb drive in on the inside. And guess who's the only one that can climb up the building to get there?
Probably the dude that opened up the second movie doing that.
Yep.
Same outfit, too, by the way.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Little capri pants.
Clear. I just realized, sorry, it was really bothering me. I'm like, why do I know Lea Seydoux?
Mm-hmm.
It's Inglourious Bastards. She's in the opening scene.
She's she's
Charlotte,
one of the sisters.
Yeah, she's Charlotte Lepidi.
Yeah.
God, dude, I can watch that intro scene.
She's not the same French girl that's throughout that movie.
No. Yeah. She's one of the killed.
Yeah.
But man, I think that's one of the best 10 minutes of cinema.
Blue is the warmest color. She was in that movie.
Yeah. And I know the Grand Budapest. She was Belle.
She's been in 2 James Bond movies recently.
Spectre for sure. I remember.
Spectre and what was the last one?
I know where you've seen her. She's in Death Stranding, isn't she?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Sorry, didn't mean for the diversion here. Just it's bothering me. I'm like, why do I know her from something else and where? Yeah. So yeah, Tom Cruise is given some gloves from Benji that work for 5 minutes.
Mm.
And then Tom Cruise scales this thing, free balling.
They were trying to a little bit of piece of trivia for you here. They were trying to figure out the tension in the scene. Like they were like, we can't just have him like just climb up the building with no problems. And Christopher McQuarrie, who will direct the rest of the series after this movie, came up with the idea of blue is glue, red is dead. He was on set that day, and they were trying to figure out, and he just wrote a quick scene about the sticky gloves and how they don't work, or at least one of them craps out.
This is also when I got really interested did Jeremy Renner do any press about Tom Cruise?
I don't know.
He did.
He
said it was a dream come true. Every single thing I thought would happen happened. He's the nicest guy I've ever worked with. He's the best actor I've ever worked with.
I mean, that's what everybody says.
Yeah, I mean he's crazy, but I mean I'd be friends with him probably.
Everybody says like he's the best dude on set, and a lot of people like working with him. So, crazy Scientologist or not, I don't and this was also right before Renner was gonna do Avengers. Avengers was gonna come out the next summer.
I tried to figure. I didn't look it. I'm glad you said that. I have a note in my notes that says Avengers ?
This is a year before the Avengers.
Man, isn't that weird? The Avengers was 20 years.
12.
No,
10,
15 at least, right?
20, 22, 13 years.
13. Man, I don't know. I haven't seen Thunderbolts.
I was young.
I need to see. I'm excited. I'm sorry, not to derail us. I love this movie. So normally when we do derailments, we hate it. I'm excited to see what's coming up. I think Fantastic Four is going to be dynamite.
I'm so excited for that.
I'm
so excited for Superman.
I hate Superman. I'm so excited for it.
Me too. Yeah.
He is my least favorite character, hands down.
But
nothing personal for him. It's just I hate the Invincible Man.
Everything I've seen about this movie, like in trailers and everything, I'm like, yes.
Again, like I'm gonna be a total wuss. I'll watch those trailers and I hear the music mainly. I just tear up. It's just like, this is fantastic.
James Gunn knows what he's doing.
Yeah. So does Ethan Hunt, who scales that thing.
Yes.
With a broken glove. Does the world's craziest kick into it because his glass cutting machine breaks as well.
Yeah, also busts, yeah. And then he busts like probably 2 or 3 inch thick glass.
Yeah, I do love. We're both in IT. You can hack a server with a thumb drive like this. You can just plug it in. You can. It's not that easy. I don't know.
It's like you got to have all kind of permissions, and
I'm not gonna hold this movie accountable for just that. But it sucks because you got to log in with the sysadmin password first.
It's a thumb drive that's from the IMF, and Benji is very good at his job. And blah blah blah.
Hey, have you ever plugged a thumb drive in that was corrupt somewhere?
Yep.
You ever set one up to do that? You haven't lived yet, buddy. I know what we're doing this summer. I got plans. You're not gonna like it, but you're gonna do it.
any flash drive I pick up and I want to see what's on it. We have deep freeze on a lot of our computers, and so I just plug it into a computer that has deep freeze on it.
Do you God, this is gonna be disgusting. So maybe cut this. I don't really care. Do you know who Goatsy is? Don't Google it. It's a picture. Don't Google it. No one Google that. But
Goatsy.
I'm not going to elaborate.
It's good.
It's vile. But I used to have this thumb drive that said bank accounts on it. The label. And I just left it around the office. As soon as you plugged it in, it made your background this image. I got problems. But you know who doesn't? Ethan Hunt. Because he plugged it in and it worked. And then he jumps down with a daggum spool of Tech Flex.
Yep.
Bro, that stuff would have unraveled. The ends are not sutured. They're
unraveled,
loose.
And it would have split with any amount of weight on it. That thing ripped. I can rip that with my bare hands almost. Like
that being said, it was so sick. When he did that backwards jump off the savior roll, I'm like, yeah.
That music kicks in when he runs across those windows and then kicks off and jumps back into the room. It's great.
Thus begins our double setup scene now, where in a briefcase with the one of my favorite pieces of tech is the contact scanner thing. That was so neat, man. That was such a cool use of that. Like
photocopy and there's a printer in the briefcase and it makes copies of stuff. I was like, this is all great setup.
Going off my childhood from the first movie, I had this idea of being able to replicate documents and print them out in a bag. So I took apart I found a copier that was Not in use, I think.
Statute of limitations, all that stuff.
Yeah. Anyways, it worked for a little bit. It was great, man. It was really cool. But then it caught fire.
Oh.
It turns out you can't leave open batteries like that. And yeah, but
you sure can't.
Yeah, but they almost pulled this off without a hitch.
Almost.
Even, dude, the best thing, this is my favorite Benji moment in the entire thing. That dumb third hand where his wiener's sticking out and his wiener grabs everything.
Yes.
Yeah, he's got a weird penis, dude.
What?
Yeah, that third hand he's got, his penis has an arm. It just grabs stuff.
No, that's it's a rubber hand and then his hand.
Is it?
It is.
Yeah, it's such a fun, stupid gimmick.
So, Wistrom, when they get the codes and everything's been exchanged or whatever, Jane abducts Moreau and holds her in the suite, and who we think is Wistrom kills the scientist.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise goes to chase him out the building because the paper they printed it on is like you can track it, but the Russian secret police guys are there, so there's a lot going on.
The only negative thing I got in this movie is there is a lot. Every set piece starts small, balloons, which I mean that's great. That's classic stuff.
That's what it's supposed to do. Yeah.
It balloons to be like, who is who right now? Just
major point. Just broad points. Shane kicks Moreau out the window. Why we need to have that character in this movie? Who cares?
That was my note. I went,
yeah.
All right. Well, that was a useless thing. Like, I thought maybe there was an edit where there was more. No.
Yeah, I'm glad we set up this assassin who only works for diamonds. That could have been interesting, but guess not. Tom Cruise is gonna run again, and this time in a sandstorm.
Boy, let me tell you, this is where I got real torqued. I went, oh, this is the best run I ever seen. I remember this from the trailers. This run, goggles, throws them on, dude. I need to get a little dab on the sweat watching that one.
He's running. Crazy car chase through the sandstorm. Very Mad Max. Crashes, and then that guy escapes onto a truck. Guy takes a mask off. It's the main bad guy. So what was the point of that? Of him dressing as,
like you said at the beginning, this is the dumbest villain. This is like
it's nothing.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's cool, but
yeah,
why?
So after all this, we meet up with Bogdan again. Bogdan's in Russia with his boss. His boss is a weapons dealer. And
this is where we find out. This is where they have the big fight of, who are you? You're not just an analyst.
Yes. Yeah.
And then,
Tom Cruise tests Jeremy Renner and is like, you're not an analyst, because he saw him fight in the hotel as well. And he was like, that fella ain't just an analyst. He's something else. Turns out he was assigned to watch over Ethan while he was on his honeymoon with his wife from the third movie, because like they never acknowledged why his wife is not in this movie until this point.
Yeah, which I guess they retcon her from the rest of it after this too, right?
No, she shows up again. She does show up again in later movies. So that was the reason that is given to us at this point why Tom Cruise was in a Russian prison, is because he killed all these Serbians and the Russians took him, and that's why we had to get him out. And Brandt feels responsible for Ethan Hunt's wife's death, even though, spoiler, she's still alive.
Yeah. Which
we move on.
That whole plot thing is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
It is dumb. It's like,
I get it, but like,
I don't need that. I don't need that much explanation for you.
No, we don't care about your wife. Whatever. You never should have gotten married, you loser.
We move on.
Married people suck, Preston.
Yeah, I'm sure your wife appreciates
that. I'm not a government secret agent. I'm just an IT boy.
We
Yeah,
moved
so
to India,
we go to find Burj Khalifa.
who owns this. This is very complicated too. He owns a TV station that has access to a satellite that Hendrix needs to launch these nuclear warheads.
This was the weirdest setup I've ever
Yeah,
seen ever.
because the reason this guy wants to launch these warheads is because he has this crazy theory that nuclear war makes everything new and makes stuff better, and he's like, the only way to make the world better is to have these nuclear weapons touch everybody and not just a certain place. So he wants to launch nuclear bombs everywhere and have everyone affected by an atomic bomb. So he's crazy.
Yeah, thus his fallout.
Yeah.
I 100% think the whole Burj Khalifa hotel stuff,
Yeah.
they found a location and went, how do we make this work?
Yeah.
Like the TV station, I think they are going there because they bought Soviet racks in their servers.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see that. Like, yeah, you're gonna cheat calls wherever you can, buy stuff cheap.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's cool. But that whole hotel is supposed to be the Armani Hotel in Dubai. I think it is actually. It's like,
Well, it is the Burj Khalifa. Like, that's because that's the tallest building in the world at that point. I don't know what hotel it is, but that building is called the Burj Khalifa.
dude, I'm so stupid. My notes got mixed up.
Oh.
I'm talking about freaking Bridge North.
Oh no, that's just that guy's house.
I know, dude. I just really screwed up. My notes got crazy here. And I have a note that says ignore, it's above. I didn't mark it out. Dodge me, dude.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
So
okay.
we're gonna go seduce this guy, which is the most
Yeah,
uncomfortable thing in this entire
we introduce a new character that has nothing else to do with the plot other than he owns a TV station.
He's just a horny boy.
And he's horny. Big.
And he's got 7 phones, Preston.
Yeah.
His butler carries them.
So the summation of this scene, it's not very interesting to me.
No.
They infiltrate the party. Paula Patton gets the rich guy back to his bedroom so she can get the codes to the thing.
Yeah.
To stop.
Balls deep, baby.
Jeremy Renner has to jump down to a big fan to some servers and plug something in, get something.
How'd you feel about the gimmick? What's your...
It's another like dumb reference to the like the spreading out on the cable thing, but it's
again
like
I'm not trying to be that guy. Those servers would have turned off.
Yep. As soon as they like weren't cooled to the right temperature, they would have.
If I turn the fan off on my PC in 20 seconds, it's dead. Yeah. So, yeah. Hey, Hollywood, baby, I love you.
It's Mission Impossible. We got to keep going.
Yeah. Impossible mission farce.
So they do all that, and so they rush to the television stations to stop Wistrom and the other guy.
But it's too late. We got bombs into AI.
Again, it's the weakest villain. We barely hear him talk. We barely hear yes, he's crazy, but why is he crazy?
And he looks like a frail old dude. Tom Cruise destroyed him.
It's just like a 50-year-old white guy that has no impact. But anyway. At some point they get to a weird garage where all these cars are stacked on each other, and that guy has the briefcase and he has set off a nuclear bomb, and his way to keep it from happening is to jump off of this garage and try to kill himself.
I thought that was hilarious. I died laughing.
Yeah. Tom Cruise's best way to get down there is to drive a car off of this garage and all the way down there. And
have you heard about the background of that scene?
No.
This could be rumors, so I tried to look it up more. I found a couple sources, but again, I'm reading the internet. So the first thing that I found was, because I got really distracted because I had problems, is Tom Cruise, Jeremy Renner, and Josh Holloway are all left-handed. Yeah, there you go. But they didn't check in with the manufacturer of the vehicle of, can we drive this 100 feet? The Volkswagen. It did great. And Volkswagen said, leave it in. This shows how safe our cars are. Perfect. Great advertisement by accident.
All right, you weirdos.
Yeah. DOS Volkswagens.
Tom Cruise hits the big button and says mission accomplished. Like
God, I laughed so hard. I love that scene so much. It was so cheesy. Mission accomplished. Nothing.
And the rest, the missile hits part of San Francisco, but doesn't go off, and it just flies into the ocean.
I mean, it just cleared up all the poop.
Yeah, because San Francisco notoriously full of poop.
Yeah, a lot more poop than people these days.
A lot of poop. So
Benji
the final
guy. Benji shoots someone. Sick.
Sure does. Wistrom, I think.
Wistrom, yeah. Wistrom.
Yep. Final scene is Ving Rhames shows up for 5 minutes, and
eating some fish with Luther. I found that to be offensive.
They're having a beer. They've eaten some fish and having some beer.
I did love part of the team. Here, your phones. Accept this.
Except you, Paula Patton. You're not back in the next movie.
Yeah, she got a Samsung, not an iPhone.
She was dealing with a terrible divorce at this point, I believe, because Robin Thicke's a weirdo.
Okay. I thought that was Robin Thicke.
That was around this time. She was
Everybody go.
Yeah.
Hey.
It turns out he was a creep.
Do you want come and rape?
He cheated on her, and he was a creep. He says, yeah, here's your mission should you choose to accept it. And Brant doesn't want to, but he's like, hey, I recognize you. You were supposed to protect me. She was not really dead. I know where she is. You're the only person that knows that now other than me.
Dude, that whole subtle, like, she's walking across and goes,
yeah.
All right, this is creepy.
She sees him. He sees her. She's okay. Didn't need it, but it's there. That's Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, because he gets a call that kind of leads into the next movie. So this was like the beginning of like, hey, we're gonna make these things kind of flow together. He gets a call about a rogue nation.
Whoa, is that the next title?
That's the next title.
I thought it was Bogue Nation. It's just like an 8. Son,
7.5, 8 for me.
I still like the first one the most.
Yeah.
This one also, Ethan Hunt doesn't kill anyone.
Yep.
Like the last time it happens.
This is also the first one that like sold the movie on look at this crazy stunt we're gonna do.
Yeah, and dude, he really trademarked his life on that.
Yep.
Like, yeah.
What's his insurance like?
I tried to look that up, honestly. No.
Probably the studio probably doesn't.
Good luck.
Yeah. So now we move on to what we watch, what we play, what we read, and what we doing.
Dude, I don't know. What have I been doing besides work? I don't even touch that 12-foot pole. Playing Schedule 1 a ton still, the drug dealing game. It's so freaking fun.
I saw some like gameplay of that the other day.
The graphics suck. It's just so, I don't know. It's an interesting simulator.
I see why people are playing it a lot.
And you can do it co-op and multiplayer. I haven't done that, and that's where I'm like, ooh, that probably opens up some stuff. Man, I think that's honestly about it. I'm trying to think what I've been watching. I haven't watched Silo or Severance lately. I need to catch up. I finished Hacks. I've been watching that on HBO. Okay. It's a pretty great show. Just, I feel like it's a typical HBO show. The longer it goes on, the worse it kind of gets, though. The entourage effect, you know?
That's what I'm experiencing with Westworld. I remember, like, ooh, some of these later episodes aren't that great.
That stinks. Yeah. Still watching Lazarus, the guy that made Cowboy Bebop. I'm so floored with it. Some people are like hating on it. Dude, it's so good. It is just.
People are gonna hate it because it's not Cowboy Bebop because people are weird.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. It's digestible anime. Like if you don't like anime, you can watch it and go, "Oh, that's a cool concept. This looks interesting." Yeah. So, dude, that's probably about it, man. What about you? What you been doing?
I watched Sinners last week.
Yeah, what'd you think?
So good.
Yeah.
Best movie of the year.
Pretty good.
I watched Ballerina last Friday. Really good.
Oh, I gotta go see it. A friend of mine texted me and was like, "Have you seen Ballerina? We need to talk about it." I don't have it. His name's Brian, but he's one of the coolest dudes ever. He gave me a popcorn bucket when it came out. Last John Wick came to theaters, and all the coins they gave out. So I need to go see it. I might try and take my dad actually this weekend.
That's pretty good.
But my dad will say it's a girl action movie.
Well, that is it's given a reason. Like, yes, you're small. Like your opponents are always going to be big. So what her thing is, she improvises a lot with what's around her, which I find interesting. What else? That's pretty much it. Like I hadn't watched any new TV. Been playing a lot of MLB The Show. I got stuck in on that. I bought that for $20, and I don't care about baseball.
But those games are fun though, dude.
I got sucked into that game.
Yeah. I love baseball. I'll watch it in person. On TV, like...
Yeah, we go to Fireflies games a lot over here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And, like, I mean, it's a good time. Like, you don't have to pay attention to the game.
Nah, that's fun. But, yeah, the games, though, I love...
Video game is fun.
I don't do a lot of sports games. I'll do golf and baseball games. Mm-hmm. They're great.
But...
still trying to buy a Switch 2. I'm not getting one anytime soon. There ain't no way. But
next week is Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation.
Yeah, Tom Cruise is in this one again, guys.
Sure is. First one directed by Christopher McQuarrie, because they did Jack Reacher together in between Ghost Protocol and this movie. So.
Okay. I've been trying to figure out where that... Okay.
Yeah. Jack Reacher was the first movie they worked on together. And Tom Cruise and Chris McQuarrie's next, like, 3 or 4 movies that they're doing that aren't Mission Impossible, they're doing them together. So I think Tom just wants to work with this guy.
I mean, if you find out someone you love working with, I'd keep doing it. Yeah. I mean, look at Adam Sandler. Like,
it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. Anyway... if you have a suggestion for a movie we should do, you can send that to secondtakemoviespot@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram. You can leave reviews wherever you want to. You can leave comments wherever you want to. Jake, do you have any final words for the people?
No. No, I don't. Drink water. Stay hydrated.
Drink water.
It's hot out there, boys.
Yeah. Next week is Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation.